Well, hello, welcome again to a reading of Plato's Symposium, and I'm just doing the selections from the Symposium. And I got up to this section here, which is 182d5. This next section I find rather difficult, so I'll do the best I can with this. The sentence structure is not really completed here. The speaker does tend to ramble a little bit, and it's hard to make complete, to put it perfectly into English. Anyway, I shall do the best I can. Enthumethentiga hoti legatai kalion tophaneros eran tu lathra. Now we begin with a dative participle from enthumemai, which is simply to reflect on. So to the one thinking about it, or the one reflecting on the fact that it is said that to love the top goes with the eran, the loving openly, so that to love openly, understand, is kalion, this is comparative, is more noble than, we take a genitive then of comparison, and then we've got to supply again eran, than to love lathra in secret. Kaimalista, and especially, and we get this genitive here, so it's especially in regard to, or especially for, those who are most noble, it's a superlative, and aristone, and the best of men. Khan for kai e'an, even if, osi, subjunctive from the verb to be, they might be iskius alone. This is another comparative from iskros, but here in the sense of ugly, so less attractive perhaps. So even if they might be less attractive than others, and that our he parakelusis to eronti parapanton thamaste, that moreover, now the parakelusis I think goes with the thaumaste, and moreover that perhaps there is wonderful encouragement, this is the parakelusis, wonderful encouragement to the one loving, to the lover, from everyone. Not that it is in any way iskron, in any way base for the one doing it. And helonti, now this is from Hyrio, it means to take or catch in this sense here, and I think means to catch the lover, hence to be successful, one way of translating it. And to him, if he is successful, it seems to be kalon, a noble thing, and if he is not successful, and to the one not being successful, an iskron, a disgraceful thing. Kai prosto epikarein, Helen exousian honomos dedoki to eraste thamasta ergetson mino epi naisthai. And the with respect to the attempt at succeeding, the law has given exousian authority to the lover working amazing tasks, literally. So it gives him opportunity to perform admirable works so as to be praised. So the law has given, in regard to the attempt at succeeding, the law has given authority to the lover who attempts admirable tasks. It's given authority for him to be praised. Ha'e tis tol moye, now that's an octative there from tolmao. In regard to things that So if someone would dare, in respect of things which, if someone would dare to do them, pursuing any other such thing, even wishing to complete it, except for this, ta megister carpoit an onede, he would reap the greatest reproach. So I think what he's saying here is that society, at least Athenian society, will allow the lover to be encouraged and praised for doing whatever he needs to do to win over the lover, to win over the beloved, things which, if you did it in regard to any other such thing, you would be reproached for. And he's going to go on, I think, to mention these things. So just to do that bit again, so things which, if anyone would dare to do, pursuing any other such thing, and wishing to bring it to completion, all except for this thing, that is, the pursuit of the beloved, he would reap, he would have the fruit, he would have as fruit the greatest reproaches. Onedes, neuter plural from onedos. Ega e cremata boulomenos, and then we get a dash here because the sentence is not really completed. And I'll just move this up a bit here. The sentence will be completed. Now the philosophias is in brackets here. It doesn't really make sense, and I haven't translated it. It doesn't seem what philosophy's got to do with it here. You can have a look at the commentaries on that. So agar, for if either wishing to take kremata, money, para tu. Now notice two things here. Firstly, there's no accent on the tu, and it's enclitic, so it's put its accent back on para. So this is tu for tinos. So if either wishing to take money from someone, a arcane arxai, or wishing to, literally to rule an office, to gain office, or he might wish, literally, to make alein dunamin. Now this is an idiom here. It means to make any other act of power, so it's an idiom meaning to gain influence, I think. So if he wished to gain any other influence, such as, now this is feminine, agreeing with dunamin, such a thing as lovers do in regard to the beloved, the paidika, and then he lists all the things that they might do. Hikateas tekai antipoleses, so employing supplications, so this is the poiumenoi, employing supplications and entreaties in their requests, and swearing oaths, and sleepings at doorways. So these are all the sorts of things that he says the lover might do to win over the beloved, and wishing, ethelontes, wishing to serve a servitude, douleas. So in other words, wishing to enslave oneself, and hoias again is agreeing with the douleas, of the sort that neither would any slave, Greek has double negatives, that nor would any slave do. So putting oneself in a situation of slavery, the sort of slavery which no slave would ever do. Empodidzoito, they would, well, prevent or perhaps deter him from, now after verbs of preventing we get a may meaning from, they would prevent him from doing huto, this action in this way, both at the hands of his friends and at the hands of his enemies. Now we get a nice chiasmus here where he's talked about the friends firstly and then the enemies, and then in the next bit we've got a men and a det, and it reverses the order. So these are his enemies. The enemies who are reproaching him, it's in apposition to ekthrone, for kolakeia, for flattery, and, well, uneleutheria is a funny word. It's hard to get into English. It's something in one word. It means behaviour inappropriate for a free man. So a free citizen would not do the sorts of things that he's doing. But then of his friends, so this is in apposition to philone, nu thetun tone, from nu thetio, to advise, and being ashamed, feeling shame on their behalf, that is, on behalf of the lovers. But to eronti panta tauta poi unti charis epesti. So, but for the lover doing all these things, charis epesti, favour is placed upon him. So they regard him favourably, to paraphrase it a little bit. Kai dedotai, perfect, this is perfect passive from Judomi, and it is granted by the law, understand, for him to do this, anu onedus, this is a genitive here, the third declension, onedos, so without reproach. So it's possible for him to do all this without reproach. Hos pankalon. Now this will mean something like wholly admirable. So as though he were bringing to completion a certain act which was wholly admirable. Pop this up a bit here, which was a certain act which was wholly admirable. Hode denotaton, and that which is most terrible, hos get legusi hoi poloi, as the majority indeed say. So that which is that kai omnuti mono, and the grammar here apparently is a little bit difficult. So it's so that which is the most terrible, as the majority would say, is that for him, in the case that even when he has sworn, for him only having sworn that there is pardon from the gods, for him ekbanti, literally stepping out of the oaths. So so that which is most terrible, perhaps most strange, we could say, for that, is, as the majority say, that for him alone having sworn, so he's the only one who was allowed to it's the only situation where you can swear and there is pardon from the gods if he breaks the oath, is the sense of it. So in that case only, even after he has sworn, the gods forgive him. There is pardon from the gods if he abandons his oath. And we get an explanatory gar clause here, aphrodison gar horkon uphasinenai. For they say that, now an aphrodison here means anything that belongs to the goddess Aphrodite. So in other words, perhaps a vow of love, not to be an oath at all. So for they say that a vow of love is no true vow. Huto kai hoi theoi kai anthropoi pasin exousian pepoi ekasi to eronti hos honomos phasi ho enthadi. And the gods and men, so both the gods and men have made, or have perhaps given, complete authority to the lover, just as, as the law, the one here says. So gods and men have given authority, in other words, to be able to make an oath in love and break it, to the lover, as the law here says. Taute men un oi athei antis pankalon nomidzesthai entedite poly kaito erant kaito philus gymnesthai tois erastais. Therefore, it's something like on the basis of this, it is someone might think, this is from Oiamai, so on the basis of this, someone might think that in this city, this is quite hard, this bit, so someone might think that in this city it is considered, so someone might think it to be considered in this city, pankalon, perfectly respectable, both the eran, both the loving, and to be, the top goes with the gymnesthai, and to be friends with the, literally with the lovers. In other words, to be good friends with lovers, that is, to reciprocate their feelings. So in this way, someone would therefore think it to be considered in this city a perfectly noble thing, both to eran, both to love, that is, to be in erastes, and to become friends with the erastes, with the lover, that is, for the beloved to reciprocate their feelings. And that is the end of this section.